DanDaDan Season 2 came out a while ago, and I was finally able to finish the season, and overall, I had a really good time with it. I thought Season 2 was, quite honestly, a bit better than Season 1, mainly due to the fact that I thought the ending of the season was a lot better. To talk about the rest of the series and my experience with it, I did watch the Evil Eye movie, which compiled the first few episodes of Season 2 together, and I was able to catch all that in theaters, and was able to watch the rest of the season once it started streaming on Crunchyroll. So that's my experience with it, and it's why I was kind of able to be a bit more lenient towards the ending of Season 1, because I felt like with Season 1's ending, it just cut off to like the half point way of a story without any real ending, just like a regular ending to a regular episode. Felt like there was a chunk of the season that was missing, and the Evil Eye movie kind of filled that void pretty well, though again, not perfect. It felt like Season 1 and 2 was like one whole season, because it felt like Gigi as a character was a bit underdeveloped when you just look at him in Season 1, but once you get to Season 2, we see his character developed all the way through, when we see him have this connection with the Evil Eye and this kid that has inhabited that form, and he starts to feel a lot of emotions for this kid, and understanding that he just wants to have friends, he doesn't want to be alone, and he wants to fill that void, which is why he chooses to keep the Evil Eye in him despite everything that has happened before that caused him to attack Momo and Okarun. And so these characters are doing whatever they can to try and help him in any way, shape, or form after everything that happened in the beginning of the Season 2 with this group of older people and now like monsters trying to like keep the Evil Eye hidden, trying to worship it as a god. So it creates a lot of friction and a lot of unique scenarios in which our characters are trying to figure out how to keep the Evil Eye under wraps, and trying to tame him, and trying to kind of lean him towards their side. And the only way they're able to do so safely is to like spray cold or hot water on him, which will either make him turn into the Evil Eye or turn him back to Gigi. And I think that whole aspect of the season I thought was really well explored and really well developed, and I think it was one of my favorite aspects of this entire season. The romance with Okarun and Momo, really enjoyed. It's just as strong and funny and heartfelt as it was in Season 1. I love these two characters together. They have a great relationship and dynamic that I love seeing build over the course of this season, where here they are a lot more accepting of each other. They feel a lot more comfortable with each other compared to their awkward selves in Season 1. You really do start to feel that development with these two characters together as the season goes on. And as for the pink-haired girl that wants Okarun and is doing whatever she can to try and win his heart, she's great. I love her as well. Love how she starts to let go of a lot of that ego-centric self of herself from the first season. I don't know, my grammar was really bad there, but you get what I'm saying. That ego of her that she had in the first season is fading away slowly, as she is still not getting along with Momo, but with Okarun, she is willing to submit a little bit to get along with him, and it creates for a lot of funny scenarios with this love squared, I guess that you could say now, with Momo and Gigi used to having a relationship, and Okarun's jealous of that, but they're just a group of friends that are in love with one another, and they're trying to figure out how to all make it work. and it creates for a lot of funny scenarios. That's all I'm saying. And we get to also explore a lot of Momo's grandmother here, and a bit of what she does, a bit of her past, and how she feels about what's happening, and how she feels that she is a bit responsible for what's happening to Gigi, and is trying to do whatever she can to try and make some things right. Like, you could tell that she fears getting outside help, or getting help at all, from family or from other kinds of people, and only does so out of necessity. And I wonder if we're going to explore a little bit more as to why, when we get to season 3, why she feels she needs to do a lot of things on her own, and that transitions, that mindset was starting to transition to Momo herself, and that's kind of why there's a bit of friction between them. But now that there's a group of kids that are trying to help each other out, it's really changing her perspective, her worldviews, and I really love seeing that explored here throughout this anime. And as for the story itself, how it ended, I thought it was like a much better ending in terms of execution and storytelling, because it leaves off on a hook, like immediate hook that the third season can start fresh on from the get-go. And I really loved how out of nowhere it is, and how it changes a bit of the dynamic with these characters from then on. I cannot wait to see explored in season 3. If they continue it, I hope they do. Most likely they will. As for the rest of the animation, the action, the brilliant visuals, love it. It's just as strong as it was before. It's fast paced, it's stylized. I love so many action sequences, like this musical segment where Okarun and the pink haired girl are trying to fight off these famous musicians from back in the day that are trying to defeat them with music, and they're trying to learn how to be able to utilize a lot of their powers against them. And I thought that was all very fun. And this kaiju battle that happens near the end of the season was great. I love it how it harkened back to a lot of older Godzilla films and Gungan stuff. It's just outlandish. It gets crazy. And again, the evil eye stuff that we saw in theaters, that's all awesome to see, especially on the big screen. I love how large scaled it was, and how emotional it did get at many points when it comes to Gigi's story here and his character development. There's so much going on in this season in terms of story and characters that made everyone feel so much more fleshed out, and is why, in my opinion, I thought season 2 was overall a much better season than season 1. The ending was a lot better, it was a lot more exciting, the characters are a lot more fleshed out and engaging to watch, and it still retained a lot of what made that first season works so well for me. And so for that, I'm gonna give DanDaDan season 2 an A+. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.